Good evening, and welcome once again to the Varlastan Circle, a D&D 5e adventure in a homebrew setting, brought to you by Penance RPG, actual play podcast and Twitch variety stream. You can find out more about Penance RPG at penancerpg.com or in the stream information below. I'm Lunrwolf, an occasional variety streamer and creator of the Varlastan setting. I'll be guiding our cast through the trials that await them tonight. And introducing our cast, starting with Aria.
Hello, I'm Dragon. I am playing Aria, who is an Asimir ranger. And she's starting to feel a little bit less terrified and horrified now that they're going to more places and people are like, yeah, no, sometimes there's just some weird things here, it's fine. That is definitely helping her mental health compared to the absolute panic of things are happening and I don't know what it is and nobody believes us.
Good. Glad to hear it. Silic.
Hello, I'm Eden. My character is Silic. He's a total paladin who, perhaps not quite completely on the flip side, is a little bit more panicked and worried by everything that's going on, being dedicated as he is to Armand, the deity that supposedly rules over everything. And he would never have thought, supposedly, once upon a time. A little bit more reassured that Malakzai's around, in fairness. We've got somebody that's joined the group that's a little bit more kind of the faith and experienced, let's say. And that's a little bit more reassuring.
Excellent. Jack? You're on mute, Jack.
Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Amy. I play Jack, our little rock gnome. Jack is just generally happy and going with the flow. He's quite excited by the new sights and things that they're seeing. Just as long as things stay on the level that they're going, he's quite happy.
Good. And Malakzai.
Yeah, Malakzai is having to deal with a lot at the moment. But, you know, hopefully being able to throw himself into his loop and just try and focus on what he can do will help him to keep an even keel. We'll see how long it lasts.
Indeed we will. So, where were we?
Big crab?
Giant crab chasing a horde of bird-like creatures.
We had just got to a new town to us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We had reported in to the circle representative. They suggested that I think we were meant to not go wandering in too far in certain directions because there are weird things that are fine if you don't prod them.
Yeah, one of them being the giant crab.
It's a lobster aberration with 4 legs and giant claws. And what it was chasing were axebait.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you don't want to mess with an axebait.
No.
They're scary. Like a cassowary and Rhea and terror bird combined.
They will spoil your day. Okay. So, as we closed out last time, I think you were all headed for a good night's sleep, having had an evening meal in the tavern. Was there anything that anyone particularly wanted to worry about in the meantime, or are you happy to wake up and have some breakfast?
Nope, nothing I need to do.
No,
Same.
Same.
Grand. The night passes uneventfully. You'll be pleased to know. Morning comes.
Hmm?
You wake up in your various orders, and you can certainly smell a wide-ranging set of odours coming from the kitchens.
Are we getting a hearty breakfast today? Oh, bacon.
Well, let's go and have a look and get prepared for the day.
Is it going to be as good as the fish breakfast was, though? 'Cause that was pretty good.
I hope it's a buffet.
Well, I wouldn't get your hopes up too much.
I don't know, all those smells.
Well, let's have a look, shall we? And let's all head out, I guess.
Totter down the stairs.
Okay. As you get down the stairs, you're met by Alfei, who hopes that you had a good sleep and that you are refreshed. And once you've got your food, but no sooner, there is word from a kind for you.
Okay.
Oh.
So, grab your breakfast, decide what you'd like there to be. There's a little
As
bit
always,
of
Jack is making sandwiches.
inevitably. There's a little bit of most things that you can reasonably easily get. And then once you're settled at a table, plates stacked in front of you, Orphe will amble over and drop a piece of paper on the table for you. Chin says there are mines. One of the mines is someone's using it for something. Don't know which. As you'll see from the map, they're around the village, so you'll need to have a look. Be a good chance to stretch your legs without having to wander too far afield.
Indeed.
Nice local job.
Mhm.
Wonder what they're using it for.
Do you have a map that show the mine openings?
Just the one the Akin's provided you here. We'll show you the locations of the mines around here. Or certainly the ones that are of interest. Open mines are less important when you're trying to find the closed one that's being misused.
Are these mines owned by anybody?
Well, they're ultimately, much as everything else in life, they're the property of all around us. But they were worked by the villagers here, and they've served their purposes and been closed down.
What kind of mines were they?
There's a variety around here. We see some copper, see some iron. Nothing too thrilling. It's all metalwork in this area.
Ah, metalwork. Alright, okay.
Well, it'd be an unusual place to choose to hide out, but we'll have to see what kind of things they're up to down there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be in my element. Nose to the ground, boys! Nose to the ground!
Just remember to be careful. If not all of the mines are marked, it would be very easy to get injured stumbling into one.
Mm.
Oh yeah, we be testing stuff before we go any deeper, just in case. You guys are a lot heavier than me. I'll be alright.
Yeah, so we'll have to mind our heads a little bit. I
Mm.
can imagine you'll be able to get into all kinds of nooks and crannies we won't.
I'm gonna be so happy. It's been ages since I've been down underground. Well, there was that time earlier with but that slide was far too short.
For shame. Okay. So, is there anything else you want to ask of Faye, particularly about the map?
No, I think if we have a look first, if there's any issues, I'm sure we can come back to him and speak to him later.
Yep. That's fine. Leaves her Faye free to go and wrangle some of the dishes and such like. Okay, so what would you like to do?
Now, we could either split up and each... How many mines are there on the map?
So the map shows 5 mine entrances. It does note that the locations are not necessarily to exactly to scale. You can see that they're spread almost geometrically around the village. It looks like the distances marked would be a couple of hours travel in each direction, but it would take rather longer than that to go from one to the next directly.
Are there any properties or landmarks, things where people might congregate near any of these entrances?
There's nothing marked, but it's very much a... Here are the really important terrain features like the river and an unpassable bit, but it's not. It's hardly a full surveyor's map.
Okay.
It's been very much thrown together, probably from existing maps, but gives you the information you actually need for your purposes.
Well, I suggest that we try and find some locals, perhaps, people that know the routes around here, and ask if they've seen anybody unusual. See if anybody's taken any paths that are not trodden too often towards these mines. And perhaps, maybe we'll find some clues.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we pick one and go to it then?
Sounds like our best option.
Are you going to go to one directly, or are you going to speak to some locals first?
I suppose we could do both. We could meet people on the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel if the locals had much information, then Akand would have already provided it.
Hmm.
And if
Yeah.
people are taking unusual paths to get to them, we can track it from the mine entrance back.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's fine.
I think we should just go.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, as you look at the map, cardinal directions are marked for you. There's a mine that more or less due north of the village, and then the other 4 are spread evenly around the points. Which one would you like to head towards?
Let's go north first.
Okay. So you can see a clear path that will get you on your way to the north, and then relatively quickly it sort of peters out. It's clearly been a little while since the mine was in use. If this was the path to it that the workers were using routinely.
Okay.
Forest is kind of reclaiming it back, kind of thing.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like anyone's out remarching it.
Okay.
Failed to prepare my shiny math rocks. How careless of me.
Can we see any other? Can we see any possible paths that other people have taken?
There are no visible paths. Even with your abilities in this arena, there's nothing obvious that indicates a path that is anything more than an occasional hunter's trail anywhere along the route that you're taking here.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively the village sits in a little bit of a sunken dip, and all of the mines are significantly higher than the villages, as you'd really expect. So you're moving uphill through regrowing shrubs and the occasional tree. You do hear an odd squealing, which quickly resolves itself to be a pack of small boars fighting over a tasty morsel of something. They pay you no heed because there's food in the offing.
Good. We had enough boars
that-
last time.
Yeah.
No sign of bloodsuckers
When you
this time.
pelt.
No sign of
As long as it's not
bloodsuckers.
got scourges, it's okay.
No, certainly not. Okay. So it takes you a couple of hours to make the walk. It's not particularly eventful, other than the boars and your standard sort of small animal running around. And then as you get towards where you think the mine location should be, the trees sort of start to peter out. You're getting a little bit higher up. It certainly starts to look like the sort of place you'd expect to find a mine entrance.
Okay, that's useful. Okay, I'll have another look at the map and see if I can work out exactly how to get to it. I'd rather not. If it's quite overgrown, I'm just very well aware that lots of people get injured by accidentally falling down mines when they don't expect there to be nothing under their foot.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
And we've not always had the least possible difficulty with dexterity
wanna-
things, so I don't want anyone injured.
Okay. You don't have any particular problem with the footing. You can see as you move up towards the next range of hills as they lift in front of you. You can see what is fairly clearly the remains of an old mine entrance in the hillside in front of you. It looks like there's a range of different debris scattered in front of it. You can't necessarily identify it at this range, but it certainly looks like it's quiet. What would you like to do?
I mean, my instincts are telling me to send the gnome.
I mean, that seems reasonable.
Jack's quite.
So...
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what skill it would be to like. Would it be an investigation check to like have him like survey?
Well,
the rock
you
and see?
you would either walk up shouting hello, as is your tendency, or possibly sneak. And then
No, I'll probably
as
sneak.
you got close enough, it depends how hard you need to look, really.
All right,
Okay.
I'll do a stealth check.
Yep.
Will slip into stealth. I will do a stealth check. That is not the right button.
I need to.
I am not stealthy. That is a critical fail.
Excellent.
Hey.
I think I'm stealthy, but I'm not. Jack's just gonna walk out.
Jack wanders out towards the mine entrance and immediately falls over a pickaxe and knocks it into some other bit of scrap metal, and suddenly it's like there's an entire concerto going on.
I've done a Pippin.
You have absolutely done a
Yes.
Pippin.
I have done a Pippin.
See if we start hearing drums, Amy.
Run! Leg it!
I'll be back in a sec. The cat is definitely after something.
No problem.
I know how you feel.
Yeah, I paid my cat taxes mid-afternoon. Okay, so Jack, as you stumble forwards, ears ringing slightly. Well, that really messes with the virtual background. I'll have to remember to not stretch. So, yes, you stumble forwards and you can sort of hear an unimpressed sort of hissing noise coming from the mine entrance.
Uh-oh.
What would you like to do?
I'm assuming he's on the ground on his belly, so he's going to shuffle himself around and scuttle back the way they came.
Okay.
And then once he's into like some brush, kind of get up and report back.
Sorry.
You don't need to tell us. We heard how it went.
Yeah. I tripped. There's like a hissy noise. I don't know. It might have been when I busted in, but yeah. Sorry.
So we know there's probably something in there.
Well, we were told someone, but I suppose that's pretty broad.
The other thing, Jack, that you noticed while you were closer is that a lot of the debris that's closest to the cave to the mine entrance, but sort of off to each side of it, looks like animal
so it's been,
bone.
like, parted.
Yeah. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
a clear ingress point, and then there's animal bone on either side of it.
Also, there's a lot of bones. Like, it's like flanked on either side with bones. So
Does it look like bones that an animal has eaten?
honestly, I didn't actually look that hard because I made a noise and thought it was best to get out of there. Pretty sure.
I mean, I would say that if we heard a hissing noise and we seen a pile of bones, it's safe to assume that there is something that has presumably made those bones.
Yes, this is some sort of lair, it seems.
Then why was there a human coming here? If it was all just the work of whatever's hissing.
Well, it may not be that this was the part of the mine that they came to.
Or they've already been eaten.
Well, true.
And that's them out there, that's their bones.
Maybe it's a pet.
And rub them soft.
Mhm.
Would I
Could
be
be.
able
Hope not.
to go in and grab some of the bones and get out so I can have a look at them?
You can certainly try.
Okay. What would I roll for that?
You'll need to make a stealth check to get through there without causing any more chaos.
Well, that's not a good start. Yeah, that's not going to work. 6.
You can run up if you like, because apparently you're not sneaking up. You may as well be fast.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fine. You can sprint up, grab a couple of bones, and sprint back without too much trouble.
Excellent.
I'm not even going to make you roll for tripping over pickaxes. Because you can't make any more noise than Jack did.
That's fair.
He already knows we're here.
Yeah, you can also hear an unimpressed sounding hissing noise. It definitely sounds animal in nature. But it doesn't sound like it's moving.
Can I tell what sort of animal? Like, is this a reptile?
It certainly sounds like it could be reptilian.
Okay. It's interesting because there's bones left over. That narrows down what it could be.
The other thing you spot, sort of by omission, as you're grabbing bones from the ground, doesn't look like there's been any humans here.
Okay.
Or any
probably.
There's no humanoid prints anywhere here. So either they're hiding their tracks very well, or they haven't been here.
Okay. When I look at the bones, do I see any signs of butchery?
No.
Okay.
You see scraping marks that would be consistent with teeth, maybe claws.
Okay. Okay, there's no signs of people having been here. Humans or any other kind. These bones aren't butchered by humans because we'd be able to see the tool mark. Not entirely sure what's in that mine, but it's. I can narrow it down that it's definitely not a snake. Because they swallow things whole and we have bones left.
So does that tell us that we can safely count this as the mine we're looking for? People haven't
And
been
put
by.
up a warning sign.
So, I would think so, but we probably want to report it just so people know that this is one to not get too close or not let their kids play close to.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be better if we had some actual information on what was in that cave before we made a report.
If you want to go in and see whether it's a giant reptile or something else, on you go. I mean,
They don't sound happy. They don't sound happy we're about.
Yeah, they don't want to be disturbed.
We can.
We do have our task as well. It will take some time to get to the other mine entrances.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we'll come back to this one then.
We'll see what I can
already
do.
knows.
They might want us to double check what the creature is.
Yeah.
Plus, it already knows we're here, so we've kind of lost the element of surprise a bit. Sorry.
It's okay, Jack. Don't worry.
Having an off day.
We're not that long awake. It's fine. Okay, shall we go to the next nearest one? There was 2 in this direction, wasn't there?
So your next one would be about the same distance, either heading down to the southwest from where you are, or heading down to the southeast from where you are.
Southeast?
Yes, let's begin this mini loop.
Okay.
Yep.
And we shall set off.
Okay. So by the map you've been given, it looks like that's probably going to take you about half a day to get down to the next one. It looks like it shouldn't be too bad terrain-wise. Mainly because you shouldn't have to go up and down too many hills if you're cutting across country to it. So as you head down that way, not a great deal really happens. You stop for some lunch. Very important.
Dessert sandwiches.
Yep. And it's pretty quiet. You know, it's not suspiciously quiet, but again, there's the occasional trace of a hunter or two, but nothing that would be consistent with what you're actually looking for. And nothing that really seems to be travelling in the same direction that you are. Okay, and as you get nearer it, again, you see the hill sort of rising up a little. You start to see indications of perhaps bits of hillside where they've worked it a little to pick out some stone or something, if they've needed some. And eventually you get to a point where you can make out the indication of an old mine entrance again. It's in slightly worse repair than the first one. And it's possibly even less tidy in the front of it. There's just stuff strewn everywhere. Looks like possibly this one was abandoned in a hurry.
Any sign of like a cave-in or anything?
Nothing you can see from the outside. Certainly not at this range.
Interesting.
Any indication of anybody having moved through the area recently? Like any rocks that look like they've been disturbed or anything like that?
It looks like there's a clear bit just in front of the entrance, but there's not like a path leading to it. So it's sort of like something has, you know, appeared there and just moved things out of its immediate way, perhaps. It's not very obvious. You'd have to get a fair bit closer to be able to see anything useful.
This one's a mess.
Yes, no clear signs anybody's been here, but we should probably take a closer look. Feeling brave still, Jack?
Yeah, let's go for a go.
I'll be right behind you.
A 12? A 12 is much more successful. You're able to not fall over yourself. Are you actually going to follow her, Select, or are you going to wait?
A discreet distance where it's not going to interfere at all.
Okay. Can you make me a stealth check as well, then, please? I think you're at disadvantage because you're in heavy armor.
What, is natural armor counts as heavy armor?
That's a valid challenge. I forgot that you're in natural armor rather than chain armor. You're
Just
correct.
my shell.
Yep.
What the shell, man? Right, well, I've got +2 on stealth, so that's a 16.
That's absolutely fine.
More stealthy than me.
I mean,
just gonna look at you and go, "What?"
To an onlooker, it looks for all the world like there's a big rock moving around in the grass.
Sort of small shuffling shape.
Small shuffling pebble meets big rock shuffling.
Yeah.
He pops most of his legs inside and his arms, so it's just kind of like hands and feet.
There's a rock chasing a small animal through the grass near the cave. Okay, as you get closer, all you can really see is the sort of thing you'd expect to see out the front of a mine. It's quite similar, really, to the sort of debris that was around the outside edges of the first one. There are some animal bones here as well, but it definitely looks like there's just this clear space in front of the mine entrance. It doesn't have any markings or anything really. It's just not full of random clutter. It almost looks like it's
space.
Yeah. It just looks like maybe something's, almost like a very small, a very small tornado. It's just cleared an area out of the way.
Do you think Arya should maybe ask the beholder if this was one of those, with the purple lights and the
Could be that
maybe
there was
something came
error.
through?
Yeah, could be.
Because it's the only odd thing here.
Looking at the ground, is there dust or like what's the state of it? I'm just trying to think if it would be possible to see tracks if anybody's moved through here.
Yeah, you have a reasonable idea about survival sort of things, so you can see that it looks like there are possibly some tracks, animal in nature, you think, leading into and out of the mouth of the mine, but they sort of stop at the point where everything is swept clear.
Okay.
Do they start up again?
Oh.
Like, can we see where they start up again, leaving that area?
They don't appear to appear anywhere else around that area.
Okay.
Mm.
Are there tracks of anything else leaving the area?
You can't identify anything.
No signs of people.
No, there aren't signs of people. And this isn't really how things from the other side of the veil have presented.
Oh, maybe we should ask.
Yeah, I can ask Opener. So I will sit down my
It
bag.
just looks weird.
It's definitely difficult to explain.
I assume, Jack and Silic, that you've moved back to the rest of the group rather than shouting a conversation.
Yeah, shouting it, just yelling it across the way.
We'll go back and recount what was.
Gonna look up and go, did anyone check for magic?
No, I didn't.
No.
No.
Maybe we should do this.
Okay, someone do that while I'm digging Opener out of these bags.
That's fair.
Opener is always buried very deeply in my bag because I don't want it to be seen by the circle and have to try and find a way of explaining it when we don't really know what's going on yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can go forward and do an Arcana check and see if I notice any particular magical nonsense floating about.
You would be looking for somebody to cast Detect Magic in the area of the mine entrance.
We're already screwed because I can't do that.
I can.
Hey!
So,
Which one of us is the wizard?
Yep. So you'll want to get you'll want to sneak back in. So I'm going to make you roll again for that.
Okay. Oh, even better. 18.
The stealthiest turtle. Okay. Sneak
She's been
back in
taking
toward...
lessons.
I know. Sneak back in towards the mine entrance without problem. And you can fire off a detect magic. There's no issue there.
Mhm.
You don't detect any magical residue. You don't have any reason to believe that there is magic in the vicinity that isn't controlled by your party.
Okay. Toddle on back out then and relay this to the team. Nope, no signs of magic in there. It seems like it might have to be a mystery for another day. These mines, well, I'm curious to see what the next one might hold. Although Sod's Law kind of says that it'll be the last one, that our man or woman or whoever they are, that's where they'll be.
I mean, we found something weird at each of them so far. So. Okay, well, I've dug Opener out, so we might as well ask.
Can't hurt.
Hello, Opener.
Yes.
We've come across a slightly strange sight. It appears as though there's been a mini windstorm of some kind here, carrying someone off and clearing all of the ground. Is this a phenomenon you're aware of?
How large is the space?
I look over and go, I don't... How large is the space?
It's probably 15 feet across. It's not huge.
About 15 feet.
That would be an odd size for a weather phenomenon.
Yeah.
Do you know of any local creatures that may have a wingspan of 15 feet?
That would be an incredibly large wingspan for any winged creature that we know of, at least.
I can't think of how anything so huge could get into a space like that.
Unless it shrunk.
Or
Or was
it was
teleported.
smaller. What if it grew up there? And that was it leaving?
Yeah.
Thank you, Opener. That was a very helpful question to ask.
You are welcome.
I will carefully wrap Opener back up, but this time they will be going in the very top of the bag because I suspect we're going to need more help.
Okay. What would you like to do then? It's late afternoon. You've probably got another 3 or so hours of daylight. Or certainly the sort of daylight you're prepared to wander around unfamiliar hills near mine shafts in.
So my favoured enemy are beasts. Would that help with working out if this was indeed wings that cleared this space?
It wouldn't tell you whether it was wings, but it would certainly inform that you can think of several different types of creature that could conceivably have a 15-foot wingspan.
Okay. Do I know of any that would live in this sort of area, this sort of terrain?
You're not 100% sure. They're not very common
Okay.
because big, scary creatures tend to get dealt with.
They tend to only be in remote areas.
Yes, like this one.
Well, it was remote enough for the lobster aberration, so... Yeah.
The other thing that that your knowledge of beasts and a little bit of additional thought would point out is that very few creatures have a fixed wing.
Yes. Yes. They might be able to fit if it was tucked in. Oh dear. That means I should go and look in at the entrance to the mine, doesn't it?
I mean, nobody's going to mate... Well, I'm not going to mate you.
But in reality, that's what it means.
We'll back you up.
I mean,
It's okay.
I probably
the
don't
squad's
want to
with
be
you.
too close.
I'll just stand over here.
Generally, anything with a really big wingspan tends to have really strong legs and beaks. Or teeth.
Well, it was teeth marks on the bones, so I'm assuming teeth.
Bones were the other mine.
Yeah, but it does. Mines connect. Doesn't just mean he's gonna use one entrance and exit. Could be. This might be his back door. Don't know.
This
We
whole
won't know
task
until
is
we go and
starting
look.
to seem much more difficult. Okay,
You see,
I guess.
yeah, shafts interconnect, so we could be looking at a warren down here.
In fairness, Jack, shafts can interconnect.
That's what I said.
It doesn't mean they have
That's what I meant.
interconnected.
Oh, sorry. We can interconnect.
Well, we should err on the side of caution.
Okay. I shall try to be
Sneak up.
stealthy approaching the main entrance.
Go for it.
$22.
Best so
on
far.
disadvantage.
That's quite good going. Congratulations on using all of your good dice rolls for the rest of the evening.
I know! But this could be quite a useful one to...
It could.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
could save your bacon.
Bacon. You are easily able to creep up towards the entrance to the mine. You can see as you get closer that it's very dilapidated, and the bones, there are some animal bones on the floor. They definitely look like they've been gnawed on. You know, you're certainly thinking teeth, not beak. And as you get closer to the entrance, you can make out a little way back from where you are, just the slightest hint of a mane and perhaps the tip of a wing.
The teeth and wings are a bad combination.
Yeah, this is unlikely to be a bird. What sort of wing is it? Can I see what sort of like material it is?
Yep, it looks like it's certainly a skin wing. It's not scaled.
Okay.
But seeing it so close in such close proximity to fur is unusual.
Can I work out if it's a giant bat of some kind?
You don't think it's a giant bat. The only creature you can think of, in all your knowledge of beasts, that would fit this description would be a manticore.
Oh no.
Pretty serious.
Mm.
Oh, be different. Okay.
It appears to be sleeping for the moment.
You know what? If it's sleeping, I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay.
I have identified I have a possible identification of it. I don't particularly want to get in a fight with a manticore if I don't need to.
Nobody does.
Well, yeah, that's right. Nobody needs that.
It would potentially spoil your day a little bit if you
Just
did
a little.
pick a fight with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's not do that.
I mean, I was going to say, are manticores smart enough to talk to? I think they are, right? I'm only asking because it
Can't
might
remember.
be useful to have someone who could survey the mines for us if we could work out an arrangement.
They have a rudiment of language, certainly, but whether you could
doesn't
find
mean
an
that they
appropriate
can-
motivation is a separate question.
Yeah.
Also, being
Mm.
able to get into the mine entrance doesn't mean it would necessarily be able to fit any deeper in.
Yeah. I was just more thinking, like, since we have to walk between each mine, pretty sure it'd be a lot quicker if someone could go as the crow flies.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
That presumes that it's connected to the next one we need to get to, and that it goes as the crow flies.
Yeah.
And he'd be willing
Like
to help
even
us.
more of a even more of a maze underground.
It's true.
Dead ends and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, I just don't know how we could persuade it. They're not exactly known for benevolence.
No.
Plus,
I
do you want to
imagine it
go
would be
wake
a-
him up?
I think we'll pass. Just floating ideas. Like, I do wonder how many sandwiches it would take.
not
to
not
catch
any
his attention.
sandwiches. No. I don't think sandwiches will cut it. I can make a good sandwich. I'm not that good.
Never know. I mean, they lack opposable thumbs. He can't make his own sandwiches. So,
I'm not giving myself to a manticore to make sandwiches for the rest of my life. No, wow,
No.
that's just no.
Wouldn't the manticore just be more likely to eat you?
Eat me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Let's not do that.
I want to go in the mine. I don't want to get eaten by the mine.
Fair. Okay, so I shall annotate the map that we got this morning. And be like, here we have this sort of creature, here we think we have this. Do we know how long it would take us to get to the next mine?
You reckon it would be about another half day, so you would need to camp overnight. You have just about enough time to get back to the village, if you'd rather do that and then set out afresh in the morning.
I was
I
going to
think
say it
I'd-
might be nice to have a bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might be wiser, considering we've found a probable manticore and a large something else.
Mm,
Yeah, we should inform them of those risks first.
yeah.
I'm thinking we might not want to camp outside near here.
Yes.
Oh, would be snacks.
Yeah. Would be little snack.
Let's head back and report then.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
I'm not singing.
No, let's keep it down
Not
for now.
until we're further away.
No, I'm not singing at all. Don't know what we're gonna find.
It's fine.
Seems reasonable. Okay.
Jack's
Take-
just gonna bop in his head.
Yeah, that's fair. Takes you a couple of
Camping
hours to
down
get
the
back,
road.
and nothing very interesting occurs. It does start to get a little darker than you are entirely happy about before you get down from the more hilly part and into the woodlands. But you can make good time, and it's all downhill from here, really, back to the village. You don't see anything untoward. You don't hear any weird noises. It's all fine. So, back safely to the village. Are you going to provide a partial report, or are you going to get your evening meal on and then resume it in the morning?
I mean, I'd be happy to go and give a partial report while everyone else is at a table and gets a couple of beers in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very kind
We
of you.
don't all need to go. We don't.
Yeah. We'll get you a pint in. Have it ready for you.
Okay. So, Malixai, you go off to the roundhouse to just speech to Uchind. Uchind is entirely happy to have a bit of an update, but doesn't really feel that there's anything too thrilling about it. News of large creatures is something to be aware of, but at the side of the various other weird things that have been noted around Jupiterberg, it's not the most startling thing in the world. Do you have any
Yeah, that's fair.
questions for Uchind before he bids you a good evening?
No, I mean, I'll explain to him that we've been, effectively going kind of one by one and checking each of the mines and seeing if any of them match the description of the one we're looking for. But no, I mean, unless he's getting any more information that he can give us, I think we should be fine.
No additional
Yeah.
information. It is only this morning that you had the briefing from him, so.
Yeah, exactly. So nah, that's fine. In that case, I'm heading off to the pub.
Cool. Okay. You should spend your evening eating and drinking to your heart's content. Within reason. Nothing of any particular import happens through the evening, unless you would like to do anything in particular. No.
Not really.
No.
Nah.
Well, once
Just
you've
gonna
had
say,
your... Sorry, go on.
just gonna say, since how Jack never got to sing on his way back, then we'll make sure that we all get a song going at some point. But it's a bit.
Yes.
Okay. Well, once you've had your fill of both food drink and merriment. At some point in the evening, you'll presumably retire to bed.
Indeed.
A reasonable time.
Mm-hmm.
To be up early.
Yeah.
We need time to say our prayers.
Prayers. Yeah. Prayers.
Mhm.
Arya just kind of glances over like, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. My prayers in the morning are making sandwiches. That's how I do my prayers.
It's an important job.
Get your bacon.
Indeed. Okay. So, the night passes uneventfully. You'd be glad to know, and you wake in the morning to the smell of breakfast once more.
Ah, I could get used to not having to camp most nights.
It is nice waking up in a bed. Not gonna lie.
It's a nice
Cozy.
change.
Oh, I don't know what you mean. Well, I suppose it's a bit warmer in here, but well, it's
Have you never like tried to like sleep in a bed? Just like
Well,
roll
I
back and-
tried once, and my shell kind of caught on the blankets and covers, and I was wrapped up in the thing for a couple of hours. It was quite an ordeal, actually.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Imagine lying back is particularly easy or comforting.
Yeah.
No, I had to lay on my front, and I thought I might as well just be laying on the floor anyway. Don't want to take up some space that somebody else could be using.
Fair enough. Let's go get breakfast, and I'll make more sandwiches for the road.
While this is happening, Arya is wondering whether there's enough space to take a mattress from the bed to put on the floor for Silik.
There probably would be enough space between the beds to put a mattress on the floor, but it really depends whether that would be something that Silik found useful.
You could offer it.
Well, you don't know till you try. If he's not having to fight with covers, then
At least have a cushion.
Well, maybe next time we sleep.
let's see how today goes first.
Okay. So, breakfast is breakfasted. And unless you have anything you want to do beforehand, you're probably about at the point where you could set out.
Let's get to it.
Okay, which of the 3 remaining mines are you going to go to?
We just continue the circle. Just
Yeah.
Well, I
might
was
as
going to say,
well.
like,
Yeah.
we could aim for the middle one, and then I guess then we'd be doubling back on ourselves if we went to the next one and back. So, yeah.
Yeah, you might as well go to the
Oh,
like
that's
the
cool.
furthest away one then, and then just work your way back.
Mhm.
But-
The south would be going to now.
Sorry?
So there are two sorts of south. One is towards the southeast from the village. The other's towards the southwest. So if you're following the order that you had already started on, you would be heading out towards the southeast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go southeast.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, you're reasonably familiar with the distances at this point. The first couple have certainly been fairly consistent. It definitely looks like somebody planned the mines out as much on distance to get provisions back and forth and take goods out of them as anything else. So a couple of hours through the woods, up into the hills once more. And once again, you can see, as you get up to the most interesting looking bits of hill, you can see the supports from a mine entrance, and outside of this one you can see what looks like it used to be a tent.
Okay, that's a bit more concerning.
How used to be are we talking?
You'd have to get a lot closer to be certain, but I'd guess you don't think someone would be bothering to sleep in a piece of fabric that tattered unless they had absolutely no option, and even then they might be better just wrapping themselves in it as a blanket.
So it's not
Stress.
necessarily recent evidence of people.
It's been there a while, in all likelihood.
Yeah.
Are there any cleared areas or piles of bone visible?
Nothing at this range, certainly. There's some
Okay.
mining debris. It doesn't look like there's anything very interesting. And you're not entirely sure, but you're not convinced you even see any hints of bone at this distance. So certainly it
Good.
doesn't
I
look
was gonna
like
say,
there's
does
a
that mean
big
it's-
pile of them.
I was going to say, I think that means it's my turn to make a stealth check and try and sneak in and see this one.
I mean, I was gonna offer, but if you want to go, you can go.
As long
Oh.
as it's someone who doesn't have disadvantages. I got lucky. I don't believe it's going to happen again.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's one. So I got 18.
Okay, you're quite stealthy enough. So yeah, and you can get pretty close to the mine entrance without any bother. You don't really see any significant amount of anything that looks like animal bone, or indeed anybody else's bones. The tent has probably been there for quite a number of seasons. You could possibly turn it into a backpack if you're really careful, but that fabric is long past its best. There's the remains of what looks like it was once a bedroll in there, but it's probably not been used in several years at this point by the sight of it.
All right.
You can see that that this mine entrance, it goes in and then turns quite quickly afterwards, so you can't really see a great deal of that.
I mean, I guess I could pick up a pebble and toss it in and see if I hear any response.
Okay. That's fine. Are you just going to chuck it towards the turn, or?
Just chuck it towards the wall as it turns, if that makes
Yep.
any sense.
Okay. It hits the wall. It goes thunk. There isn't an echo. And you don't hear any response of any kind.
Okay. I'll maybe... I mean, I could just shout inside and see if anything happens, but no, I think I'll leave it. As a sign that there's probably... And this is just like an old campsite that's been abandoned by a couple of years back by the looks of it. So yeah, that's fine. I'll head back to the group and let them know what I've seen.
Okay.
I take it there's no sign of any fresh tracks or anything.
The only tracks here are yours.
Well, that I've seen, but mean,
Well-
we could go and investigate further. It appears to be somewhat safe if we all want to, wander up and have a proper look.
We could have a quick look. Might as well while we're here. Doesn't seem to be where our target is, but why not?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
So what's you gonna do? Just amble into the mine entrance and have a poke around?
Yeah, let's have a quick
We're
look
gonna
around.
stand at the edge and all stick our heads around the corner.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo it.
Yeah, I think you're all
Yeah,
different
Scooby-Doo
heights, so
it.
you can definitely cartoon it.
We could definitely Scooby-Doo it. Just Jack at the bottom.
Okay, so if you look just round the first turn, other than a newly thrown in pebble that has disturbed the dust, all you can see is that there's been a massive rockfall at some point. It's no more than 4 or 5 feet from where the turn sits. And if you look really hard, one of those rocks right at the bottom might be the remains of a boot.
Mm.
Oof. Oh, that's a nasty way to go.
Mhm.
And sadly, quite common in mines.
Oh, yeah. Happened to my Uncle Jerry. 3 times he's been in them.
Goodness.
Yeah, he's lucky.
Quite.
Very.
Yeah, he only lost his toes this time.
I mean, we're not going to get out of a rock slide to rebury him, so a quick prayer and
No.
we'll be on our way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how no boards were set.
We pray over them and leave.
Yeah, blessings of Armand, all that.
Sorry, you got stuck.
Like, I guarantee there's like a, the Miner's Lament prayer or something we can throw out.
Yep.
Jack will have known it. Jack will have known
Yeah,
it and said it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to continue on to the next one?
Yep.
Okay, that will take you more or less directly west to get
Okay.
straight to it.
That's fine.
Again, it's about half a day's travel. And other than some kerfuffle, as you realise, you packed your lunches upside down, and they're trying to escape into your bags.
No.
Oh, no.
Nothing really happens. It's perfectly nice terrain as these things go. You probably wouldn't want to be stuck up here in a snowstorm, but other than that, it's perfectly passable. And it definitely doesn't look like there are just random mine shafts scattered around the place. Which is good. Prevents you falling
Very
down them.
organized.
Well, a significant degree of organisation is very much what you've come to expect in your experience.
We've gotten into our groove.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after good while of travelling, you reach what you can immediately see is another mine entrance. This one has maybe foliage. It's a bit unclear. It looks like there might be something green in the entrance, but you're not quite close enough to be able to work it out just yet. Whatever it is, if it is something green, it's a very, very big bit of foliage.
That sounds like a cover-up to me.
Could be.
Alright. Alrighty, I'll go and sneak in then and check it out.
I was gonna say, would you like some kind of buff to your sneaking before you try it, or?
No, because I got a 16.
That's fair enough.
I was gonna say I can throw an enhanced ability about if anybody needs it. So if you're really desperate for just about anything, by the looks of it, it can be used for. So.
Nice.
Sounds good.
It's okay. I got it this time. I'm awake.
Okay. So you can sneak in, that's fine. You can get rather closer. There is some mine debris. It's not very interesting. It's much the same as you've seen before. But the thing that's different here is that there's definitely a certain amount of just discarded bits of plant. Like long streamers of some sort of foliage that you don't immediately recognize. And now that you are closer to the mine entrance, it's absolutely blocked by a very big plant-like object that you can't immediately identify. It looks like it's plants, but it doesn't. It would be really weird to just have one plant there of that sort of size.
Jack's gonna take like a cutting of it.
You're going to go up to the entrance and take a cutting from the plant.
Or maybe slightly go closer to the plant.
Throw a stone. Throw a stone.
And then throw a stone at it to see if it's freaking what's the plant called in Little Shop of Horrors?
Audrey 2.
Audrey 2, yeah. That's all I've got in my head is feed me, Seymour, feed me, and I'm like, no.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
I would like to edge a little bit closer and then throw a rock.
You're going to throw a rock.
Oh, yes. What would I have to roll?
Okay. Can you make me a dexterity check? Unless you're going to throw a really big rock.
No. No. Not a big rock. That is a 9.
That is a 9, is it? Okay. You have thrown a rock in the general direction of something that is really quite big, and you've still hit the stone around it.
Damn
it. The rock that you threw plunks off the stone around the edge of the entrance, thumps a couple of times as it bounces to rest, and then there's a movement in the entrance to the mine.
I'm gonna sneak back.
It looks like the plant is turning, maybe?
Oh god, it's a Triffid.
Can you keep an eye on it as you run away so we know what we're up against?
Yep.
Jack,
like
can you make me
away.
another stealth check, please?
Yep. Oh, that's the wrong one. $18.
That's fine. So it turns, it shuffles around a bit. It's definitely a single thing. It doesn't appear to have noticed you. And it's almost like it's hunting to see if it can identify where the noise came from and what made it. But you are, by now, far enough away that it's probably not going to spot you.
Just gonna stand and observe it then.
Yeah, at least you don't believe it's got eyes.
Okay.
That's real reassuring.
Tempted to throw another stone somewhere else, just to see it move a bit more, just to like be like, okay, but maybe not. It's gonna back slowly and report in. I don't like it.
Can we see
Giant.
any of this from where we are? Sorry.
You can see the movement. You can't necessarily make out a great deal of detail. All you can see is that there was a big shape has moved a little bit in the mine entrance. Until Jack reports back to you, that's about all you're going to be able to tell.
Okay.
Are there any tracks?
You can't see any tracks.
Okay.
And you don't think that there's anything that's that's really interesting. There's a mussed up bit just in front of the entrance, which sort of runs up to the point where there's the bits of discarded foliage end. But it's not tracks really, it's just like something's moved in that space in much the same way that what you've just seen has moved.
Okay. But there's no signs of any villagers or travellers or anything?
No sign of humanoids.
Okay.
Okay. Would you like to tell them all about it, Jack?
It's like a big plant. I think it's all one, and I hit the wall with the stone, and it just all went and moved. The whole thing in one. I don't think it could see me though.
Like, what do you mean by the whole thing?
Like the whole thing. It's like one. It's not just. It's like it's not one. It's not many plants in one. I think.
Okay. And did all of it look like a plant?
Yeah. I think I'm not good with vegetation. That's your thing, but
I mean, generally, if something moves, it's not a plant.
it's got like vines and like hair. I don't know, but but like there's too many. There's so much foliage.
Okay. That is weird.
But it fills the whole thing.
So we
I
had
was
to
gonna
look.
cut it.
We had to look around and we couldn't find any tracks of anyone coming here to visit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we should try to do anything about this or just carry on and report it back like we did with the others yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I have been itching to try out this Burning Hands spell.
Yeah, but if this is a creature that's not causing problems to anything,
Yeah, I suppose.
then there's no reason to burn it.
That's very true. No need to break the cycle of life.
How many people walk this way? It's not doing much harm.
Well, that's the strange thing. We've found monstrous creatures at 3 of these so far. And yet, there's no signs of people coming near them at all.
And the village is more concerned with people going to one mine when they've got all these things at the other mines. That's also a little bit weird.
I mean,
Very
they might
true.
be concerned
Yeah.
that someone's interfering with or trying to use the creatures rather than a concern of the danger of the creatures themselves.
Like they've got like a harmony with them, so they don't.
Yeah, like they're in a balance.
And these guys are maybe upsetting it a bit. Well, we got one more, so.
Yeah, this is true. I guess we shall go and have a look at the last one and see whether it is,
The deal is.
whether there are signs of people visiting it or not.
Surely process of elimination. The villagers couldn't have been sending us on a wild goose chase, surely?
I don't
hope
think
not.
they would.
It's
No,
not as though
no.
there's a lot of exciting stuff to do in town, though. No.
True.
We'll go and have a look.
Okay. You'll need to either camp out overnight or again make the return trip to the village. You won't be able to reach the final mine without nightfall reaching you first.
I still don't want to stay outside. Given.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's more concerning, given that we've got no idea of what that being is.
Yeah. Plus, it reacts to sound, I think. So, snoring's not going to be an option.
Yeah. Let's go back to the village, I think.
Okay. So you make the return trip, which goes without incident as an evening draws in. It starts to get dark as you come back out of the woods, down to the village, just in time for dinner.
Perfect.
Again, I'm going to go to the circle representative and kind of tell him what we've discovered. At least this other new large flowery creature. And maybe see if I can kind of like ask him if these beasts have been, known around the town for any length of time, or whether they've newly moved in, or.
Yeah. So we've got some local or local-ish residents of interest in origins. We couldn't have said for sure they were camping out in the mines like that, but it's not particularly surprising. This plant thing I'm not immediately familiar with, but it sounds like some sort of, I think they call them the shambling mounds. There's a few of them about the place. They're fine as long as you don't you don't wander up to one and start poking it with a stick. Tend to occasionally eat a small animal, but they're not very interested in things that aren't green. But yeah, it's useful to know that that's where they are, though. That means that we can make sure we're providing good advice to the hunters and things like that if they're going off to try and find some additional catches. We know where they shouldn't be going. I don't think we know anything about this campsite that you just said there was. Whoever that poor soul under the rocks was. I don't think we've got a record there, but that's, if that's a couple 3 years ago, then
yeah, a couple of years at least.
Yeah, will have slipped from memories quite readily, and a lone visitor like that isn't really going to arouse a lot of interest. So, well, keep up the good work. It's very, very useful information that you're bringing back with you. I look forward to seeing what you come back with tomorrow. You'll be off to the last one tomorrow, will you?
Yes, I believe so.
Good, good. Well, I look forward to hearing all about it. Enjoy your evening, and my regards to the set of your companions.
And you enjoy your evening as well.
Thank you. Blessings of Almond upon you.
And you. In that case, I'll back to the pub and say to everyone that he seems weirdly fine with having this many monsters around. Like, I mean, sure, like, I understand that if you avoid them, then they shouldn't be an issue. But it definitely feels like there's something going on if there's...
If the answer is always, oh, that's fine. Like,
Hmm,
really?
they're a bit too calm.
Quite.
We might just be used to it.
I mean,
Well,
we get used
everywhere
to
else that we've
the
been.
darks.
Sorry, Ian, I think your mic has cut out, or at least it has for me.
Yeah, it's cut out of my end. Yep.
We cannot hear you.
Nope, you're still muted.
Just
Technical
gonna shake our heads
difficulties.
at him. Tech gremlins.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
I wonder if he can hear us. Oh,
How is that?
That's
there we,
better.
there we
Welcome back.
go.
Yay! Good. No, as I was trying to say, I think my idea of going and having a word with this manticore might not be the dumbest of ideas. See if we can maybe try and get any information from him if we are somewhat concerned with how the people are reacting. If we get the other side of the argument.
Well, if we perhaps get the last mine first, take out the last obvious big clue, and then if that doesn't yield anything, then yes, and I'm absolutely up for speaking to this manticore.
Yeah, we'll buy a couple of cows to drag up or something.
Yeah, make a bargain.
Mm.
Me and Ari are just gonna stay at the back. You take your cows and make your deals, and we'll just stay here.
I mean, but we would quite like to have you as, maybe cover in case it all goes terribly wrong. But
Oh yeah, I'll have a crossbow. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine. But yeah, I'm not going to the front. I'm squishy and little. I'll be the first snack.
Yeah, I am unconvinced,
Mm.
but we should go and check the fifth mine.
yeah,
Yeah.
You never
do
know,
that
we might find
first.
something there that helps answer our questions.
here's
Something
hoping.
to help them with the manticore.
Also true.
Okay. As previously, dinner passes quite happily. Unless you want to do anything in particular with the balance of the evening, that will bring us through to another good night's rest. So you can all turn in, and the morning will find you bright and breezy once more.
We're getting a good rest here.
Yeah, this is. I suspect this is not going to be a common feat on. So, like, make the most of it.
Enjoy it while
Have
we
a
can.
bath before we go out.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
just an adventurous hiking holiday.
Mhm.
Okay. and even more bacon for Jack for breakfast.
Even more bacon. This time packed well.
Just to make sure we
into
pack our lunch
the
correctly.
bags. Yep. Gonna make them properly and like double wrap them.
Okay. So, with breakfast out of the way, is there anything you want to do before you head off for the final mine?
Nope. Raring to go.
Okay.
Just check this last one.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
I think at this point, Aria's probably starting to get a sense of foreboding about this. Like, this is kind of been going relatively smoothly, so she doesn't really believe that's going to last.
It's like
Aria's very cynical.
Aria is very suspicious. That is not the same thing.
Okay. So, for the final mine, your route takes you west-ish, a little bit north of west. Again, a couple of hours. The wood is a bit denser on this side, but it's still perfectly passable. Usual, occasional hunter trail. Nothing of any real remark. As you get towards the edge of the woods, you can see almost immediately. You can see up towards the entrance to the mine in front of you. But you can also see a number of humanoid figures, some moving around carrying things, some very clearly guarding.
Okay, so forget the manticore.
Yes. Here's our people using the mine, so to speak.
Here's our troublemakers.
Squinting into the distance, trying to get a sense. Are these humans, dwarves, like kobolds? What are we looking at here? Can we get any sense of that?
A mixture of humanoid species, in much the same way you would expect anywhere else. There's no particular favoritism one way or the other for the most part. They don't appear to be wearing any visible markings.
Okay.
But at this range, a small marking you wouldn't necessarily see. You know, you would see if their clothing was blazed with something, but you wouldn't see a small brooch. The ones that are carrying things look like they are shifting wooden crates in and out of the mine. And it looks like at present you can only see a couple that look like they are on guard. But they've got really quite good vantage points. They would definitely be able to see anybody coming out of the woods any further forward than you are.
Observing the way that they're moving, is it kind of like, are they energetic? Do they look like they're capable, or are they broken down and perhaps are they slaves? Just trying to get a sense of that.
The ones carrying the boxes, they're moving reasonably well. They're clearly carrying some things that are quite heavy from time to time, but they don't have any appearance of being, they're under some sort of coercion that would cause them to be mistreated.
Quite the operation.
Yeah. I mean,
wonder what they could
I
be
could-
trying to get out of there.
Could always go and ask.
Well, we
Hmm.
could shoot the 2 guards first and then ask one of the others.
No, listen. I have a bit of a plan.
Mhm.
So, effectively, if everyone follows my lead, we walk up, we introduce ourselves as new guys. Like, you know, just sort of like try and bullshit our way through and sort of say, oh, we were sent here by what's his name, the wee short guy, and you know, like see if they'll take the bait, as it were. Like, at least worth a shot. And if that goes wrong, then we can start battering folks, I guess.
Oh, is anybody a capable storyteller? Confident in this?
Me, absolutely, especially with a little magical assistance.
Perfect.
So I'm going to cast Enhance Ability and specifically use Eagle's Splendor, which gives me advantage on charisma checks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a note that I've cast that. Just so I've got that. How long does it last?
Concentration up to an hour.
Concentration up to 1 hour. Perfect. That's fine.
Good now.
Remember that means you cannot cast any other spell that requires concentration without letting it lapse.
It's fine. If I have to cast any other spells, we're already fucked.
Jack's gonna slip into stealth then.
I was gonna say
'Cause I'm gonna be
absolutely if
sneaky.
you want to like find a stealthy spot to watch from, but like it'd be better if I had
Stab.
at least one other person behind me so I can kind of, you know, introduce us as the new group.
I got a 19.
Definitely in stealth.
I'll be in the shadow, just
You
in
are
case, because then
sneaky.
I can stab. I'm so sneaky.
Good idea.
Mines are my friends.
I'm gonna stay out here with my bow.
Well, I think I'll try and sneak up with Jack as well. Let me give it a go. Or maybe not this time. 6.
Right, in that case, I'll if I'm assuming rolling a 6 on that stealth check means that there's been a clatter, and I will very quickly like nip myself out, grab a little bit of dirt and rub it under my cheeks just to make me look a wee bit more, you know, like I'm here to do some manual labor. As much as I have a -1 in strength, I'm the skinniest man you've ever seen. But it's fine. I'll show up and I'll head towards the 2 guys who are standing guard first.
Okay.
Just be like, hey, Owen, I'm the new guy. Was sent by what's his name, the little short guy.
Okay. You can make me a deception check. And you will have advantage on it.
So, 2 or a 20. I think we'll take the 20. A natural 20, and we'll add 4, so 24.
Okay. They look at each other, past you, and one of them reaches into his shirt and pulls out a whistle. Roll for initiative.
Shit. Worth a shot, wasn't it?
Well,
Okay,
I'm not going to be doing anything for a while.
22.
14.
17.
5.
Oh no.
It's fine. They don't know I'm here.
Yeah,
They don't know I'm here either.
so it's basically only
Unless
me.
Silic was right next to you.
Unless they look.
Hanging
I think-
back a bit.
Yeah, I think still it was obvious, but not in such a way that would expose Jack.
Okay, that's fine then.
Okay, and we'll have some more rolls there. That's lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Okay, so Jack, you can see this guard taking this whistle out, moving it towards his lips. What would you like to do?
I would like to shoot him with my short bow in his neck, hopefully. The wrong thing.
I mean, you can attempt a cold shot if you really want to push your luck.
I got a natural 20.
Wow.
plus my 5 to hit.
Plus your stealth.
So
plus your
my
sneak attack
stealth.
bonus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plus my sneak attack, and I've not rolled damage yet.
This guy's getting it.
Okay.
I don't even need to roll damage.
Yeah, I've not even rolled damage yet. So,
Oh dear.
I have to count now. I don't like counting. So, how many d6 do I need to roll? God. Oh God, it's so difficult to do in the app when I don't know things. So I get an extra 2d6 damage on top of my damage. Okay. So that's... God. There's so many buttons. So that's 3d6 damage plus 3. Okay.
Okay.
Which is 17.
That's gonna hurt. He staggers backwards as an arrow appears in his throat. He drops the whistle from his fingers. It dangles from the string that it's on, and he starts to try to work out whether he can attack or try and get the whistle back up or what he can do, but it is not his turn yet. One of the workers hears just this horrendous noise from him getting shot in the throat, drops the box that they've literally just walked out of the entrance with and runs into the cave. All you can hear is shouting. Malexai.
Bugger. Okay. I still have advantage on charisma checks until I cast something. So I'm going to spend my action. Oh no, I guess if I can already hear shouting, that's probably not really going to work to try and intimidate the dude who's ran away. So, yeah, fuck it. The second guard is going to catch some burning hands.
Okay. So
Would I be able to position myself to get both of them?
No, because
A 15-foot cone?
Nope, because they're on opposite sides of you.
That's fine. The one who hasn't been shot in the neck.
One who hasn't been shot in the neck is going to get burning hands. Okay.
And I'm going to upcast it with a second level slot, which should give me 4d6 damage.
Very fancy.
So he needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
He does.
Guard.
Which he passes against your spellcasting difficulty. So he will take.
So that means he gets half as much damage. So give me a second.
4d6 and half it.
D6. 4.5 damage. Say 4.
He is slightly warm.
Yep. That's what happens when you try and concentrate on 2 spells at once, kids. Like...
Well, Burning Hands isn't a concentration spell, so you still have your advantage on charisma, unless you choose to drop
Sweet.
it.
I'll keep it, might as well. It'll serve me use, I'm sure.
Okay. Oh dear. Okay, so you have burnt him very minorly. That's fine. Silic.
Okay. Can I run into the guy that's almost presumably dead with an arrow through his neck?
He's not very well.
I say
You
almost
can?
presumably dead because if I get my way, then that's going to happen any second.
You can you can certainly ensure that he doesn't suffer for too much longer.
Let's get in there and take a swing with the war pick.
Okay.
Right,
Do your
so I got
worst.
16 to hit,
That will hit.
and then I got a 8 total damage.
Okay. He is looking very much the worse for wear. Your war pick has given him a good sized hole in his upper arm. I think possibly even Trotsky took less damage from an ice pick, but never mind. So the guard that Malachia charred slightly raises a crossbow and shoots directly at Malachia. The bolt flies just past your ear, but you do survive unscathed on this occasion.
Good. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to dodge very many of those.
The very badly injured guard with the whistle decides that he probably only is going to get to do one thing with the rest of his natural span, and grabs his whistle and just blows it with every breath he's got left in him. Resigned to the fact that he's going to get murdered here. You can hear even more shouting, and there's definitely plenty of people now paying attention. You don't know where they are, but they're probably all in the mine. The second worker, you can see, drops his crate and makes for the safety of the mine as well. He just about gets to the entrance. He's not quite out of harm's way yet. He doesn't appear to be making any immediate attempt to get involved. And that brings us to Aria. There's 2 viable targets in line of sight and one that is probably a bit far away.
Yeah. Okay. I shall go for the nearest target, I think.
Okay.
And I will shoot them with my longbow.
That's a good idea.
Nope. I
As
really
good as
did use
that.
up all my luck on that stealth. That was a natural 1.
Oh dear.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't do that a second time. Just saying.
Okay.
We haven't yet had 2 natural ones in combat in a row from anyone. Let's not start now. Jack.
Jack's gonna take up his crossbow and shoot for the one that is trying to get the one that's running away into the...
You're probably not
Yeah.
going to be able to get the range on the worker that's almost in the cave.
Okay. Alright, then not to the other one then.
You want to do the one that you've shot first, or the one that is slightly charred?
Slightly charred.
Okay.
That one. 15.
Yes, there's a hit. Your bolt is accurate.
And I don't have stealth. The bonuses on this one, so it's just a 1d6. 3. That is a 4. I should have went for the other man. Oh well.
4 hull damage.
4 whole damage.
Your arrow takes a chunk out of his ear. He squawks a bit.
Oh well.
Okay. Worker has left the arena. Malexire.
So now I'm still facing off with one almost dead guy and one very much not dead guy. Cool. In that case, I think my first best bet is going to be to back up a little bit from the cave. Sort of, at least shuffle my way backwards as I prepare to throw a spell. And yeah, I think I'm going to go for a firebolt to our almost dead guard.
Okay.
So that should be an 11.
An 11 to hit. What was that?
Oh, good.
If that was an 11 to hit, then you missed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bugger. And then I'll just fire a flare down the length of the mine shaft. That's fine.
It doesn't go anywhere
my
near the
backwards
mine.
advance.
It doesn't go anywhere near the mine. You're so far away from the mine at this point that it wouldn't reach in any chase.
Oh well.
Silly.
Fine. That was fired over my shoulder. It was as I was retreating. So
Good excuse.
Yeah.
Okay, Selic.
Let's try and finish this guy off. The bloodied man in front of me.
Okay.
So that's a 11 to hit.
He manages somehow to fend your warpick off.
But
Just manages to find the strength to deflect it. Okay. The guard with the crossbow keeps his aim on Malexire as clearly the biggest threat. But he can't manage to get an accurate shot on you as bolt flies over your head. The guard with the whistle sees he might maybe have an opportunity here, having fended off Silic's attack, and will attempt to just stab you with a dagger. But he does not connect. He's suffering enough from his injuries that he's a bit unsteady. The worker in the cave entrance disappears into the depths. To no particular effect. And Arya, last but by no means least.
I'm now really concerned that I'm about to like break my longbow or something. Okay, I think I might as well start heading towards our targets. Still trying to keep somewhat. Like, I'm not just going to walk out into the middle of a clearing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to approach, and then I'm going to try and shoot again.
Okay.
$18.
That's a better shot.
Huzzah!
Yes!
Your arrow is on
can rest
target on
assured
this
now.
occasion. How much damage can you do?
2.
Your arrow carves a bloody furrow down the scalp of the severely injured guard and shakes his head in pain and slight disbelief.
Now I just feel bad for not putting him out of his misery.
Yeah, pretty much.
Agreeing he's not help with the guilt.
This is acceptable. Okay. So that brings us back around to Jack.
We're gonna put this poor man out of his misery. We're gonna put him out of his misery. 24. We're definitely putting him out of his misery.
That is a definite hit.
9.
Your third arrow is almost as true as your first one. And it sinks into the side of his face. He falls over backwards, bounces slightly off the stone he was stood on. If he's not dead, he's doing a very good impression of it.
His acting skills are just impeccable. Oh.
We've lost Malixire.
Oh.
There he is, coming back. I was just about to ask you what you were going to do, but apparently the answer was disconnect randomly.
Oh, joy. No. I think in that case, if the other guy has went down, I'm just going to continue throwing spells at the guy who's still standing. Even though this is slowly proving to become quite the battle against two guys, I'm actually going to spend a sorcery point to throw a twinned firebolt at him.
Okay.
So that should be 2 spell attacks,
Yep.
both of which got a natural 20.
Oof.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a bit spicy.
Lucky.
I will never see that again. So I'm just gonna
Enjoy it while you can.
bask in that for a second.
Okay. So that will be
Uh,
4d10 fire damage.
Here's hoping that I can get more than 4 damage with that. Oh. So that is 28 damage. All in.
28 damage.
Yep.
Okay. Your firebolts arc out, one either side of him. They seem to almost meet in the middle of his head. He crumples to the ground. Very, very dead. Silic,
Hurrah.
you have no visible combatants, but there's an awful lot of noise coming from that cave entrance.
How far away from the cave entrance am I?
You're probably 100 or 120 feet away. It's a fair distance yet.
And where's everybody else in relation to me?
they're within 10 or 15 feet, except for Jack, who's set. Except for Arya, who is a little bit further back.
Okay. He'll call out, "Let's move on up," and kind of take his shield out in front of him and start charging up as far as he can towards this door.
Okay. Are you choosing to run, or are you going to advance carefully?
Advance carefully. Let's keep the shield up as we go.
Okay. That will get you some way towards it. As you move up, and your companions have yet to follow your lead, you start to see some more figures spilling out of the mine entrance. The first appears to have a staff of some significance. Doesn't appear to do anything as they move out of the cave. They're just looking and trying to see what's going on. The second figure to spill out of the cave behind them also carries a staff, but it's a shorter staff, and they look rather more intent on what they're doing. They lift their staff very briefly, and then a projected voice that all of you recognize as a product of a little bit of thaumaturgy. Yield!
Who are you? We will not yield until you tell us who you are.
Your chance of a conversation will come soon enough, I'm sure. Another figure comes out of the cave behind them, readying a crossbow. And Arya, it is your action.
I'm gonna again move closer. I'm closer to my companions.
Okay. Are you going to do anything else?
I'm not. I'm trying to think what I could most usefully do. Actually, something I am going to do is I'm going to use my action to cast Primeval Awareness. Because I want to know if it's just these people that we can see, or if there is anything more concerning.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. You can't sense anything that is revealed to you by Primeval Awareness.
Yeah, it's a good start.
So that's something at least.
Okay, and I shall tell the party, okay, well, I'm pretty sure that it's only this lot we're dealing with. No aberrations, but there might be other beasts. Potentially. But it doesn't look like they have, attack animals or anything inside the mine.
Okay. And a fourth figure comes from the mine entrance and is readying a longbow. You can make that much out. They're not quite ready to open fire on you, but they will be very shortly. That brings us back to Jack.
I'm gonna have Jack slip back into stealth. Just so he can have the advantage. '23.
Lovely. Very, very stealthy indeed.
Very sneaky.
Okay, what else
I
are you
need
going to do?
something. I'm gonna train my crossbow. Because I can't fire at the same time in this turn. I don't think. Can I?
You're too far away to get a
Yeah.
decent shot on them anyway. From here.
Yeah. I'll move up then.
Okay. Malexire.
Well, I think in this case the first thing I'm going to have to do is the other fella is using his thaumaturgy. I'm going to use my own, raise my voice, and just repeat what Silic had said and say essentially like, we won't yield until we know who you are. We came here with good intentions.
Very well. That brings us to Silic.
Are they stirred by that in any way? Any reaction to it?
You can't immediately see a reaction to it. They're far enough away that you can just about make out facial expressions, but you're not going to pick up a lot of nuance.
Can I cast Shield of Faith on myself?
You absolutely can. That is your prerogative.
Just being upfront with all these guys, a little bit scary.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're coming. We're going.
So I'm going to do that and stand ground.
Okay. You have a slight shimmering field around you. And you don't stay where you are.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Make them come to you. That's fine. So the two figures with staffs move up slowly towards you. Being quite cautious. And the one that spoke before just looks at you very suspiciously, particularly Malexire. Yield, and you will not be harmed. The crossbow wielding figure further back is moving up as well, trying to get into range. And Aria, what would you like to do?
I would like to shout back that we had been asked to investigate, and what the hell are they doing?
Okay, you can shout that. Are you going to stay where you are as well, or are you going to move closer?
No, I'm going to keep moving closer.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep moving closer and with my longbow in hand.
Mm-hmm. You are certainly within longbow range now. Which is going to be demonstrated ably by the remaining person in the cave mouth as they move forward with their longbow strung and ready. They picked their shot perfectly, and their arrow flies in between Malexire and Silic. It's clearly not.
That was lucky.
It's clearly not a miss. It's clearly a deliberate placement, because it's too neatly between you to be a miss.
A warning.
Jack.
Jack's just going to continue moving up. He's hesitant to be the first person to shoot, though, given that they've given us a warning shot.
Mm-hmm.
he'll probably just get himself into a good position and train it on the lead staff wielder.
Okay. That makes sense. Malexire.
Right. How many people can I affect with an intimidation check? My first question.
With a stock intimidation check. Using thaumaturgy, you should potentially affect anyone in earshot.
I was going to say I might also ask if I would get any sort of bonus for punctuating my words with the rumble of thunder and ominous whispers from the cave behind them. As I essentially stand my ground and tell them to stand down.
You can give it a try.
Okay, so I'm still getting advantage on charisma checks.
Yep.
I haven't yet used a thing, which means I have a dirty 20, I believe.
Okay. It looks like they have certainly heard you, but you'd expect that. It's unclear whether they're particularly swayed by your demands. Silic.
Gonna start edging backwards, keeping the shield up, and sort of maintaining a view on these guys as they're kind of moving in. I'm stepping backwards.
Okay.
Why is everyone leaving the sorcerer to stand out in front?
I thought you were behind me.
Because this was your idea!
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I suppose. Alright. Fuck it, I'm standing my ground.
I wanted to shoot the guard first, but
You
no.
someone behind me, because if that's the case, then no, I won't do that. That wasn't my intention. Instead, I'll kind of move in towards Malexire to make sure that I can protect him with the shield.
Okay.
And encourage, like, we should step backwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck that guy up.
Oh, I'm ready. I'll try and defend you.
The two staff-wielding figures pause for a moment to confer quietly between themselves. Behind them, another two figures emerge from the cave, stringing longbows, moving swiftly to take positions where they can draw aim on you. The crossbow-wielding one, who is already visible to you, moves forward a little further, drops to one knee for some extra precision. Aria.
You're muted.
You're still muted.
You're still muted.
Technical difficulties strike again.
Tech gremlins.
I don't think we're going to win a shootout with these guys. I don't think we need
Not right
to
now.
have a shootout with these guys. So I'm going to continue moving forward and call out to them and ask if we can talk. Because we've not really tried that yet.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think we have tried that. We've essentially asked them to tell us who they are, and they've refused. So...
Well, as far as they're aware, we turned up and started shooting. I wouldn't be so happy to just randomly chat to people and if I was in their side of it, so...
We seem to be very heavily outnumbered at this point.
We're heavily outnumbered. They clearly know what they're doing.
They got good aim.
Hmm.
I guess I'll continue to head over to them.
Okay.
Like, just continue walking towards them.
Yeah.
Like, I've still
Uh,
got my weapons on me,
yeah.
but not actively in hand about to use it.
The one at the back with the longbow has it trained on you, but is not moving. Jack.
I think Jack should probably just remain in stealth for now, but lower the weapon. Just keep an eye on the situation. Because they haven't they haven't fired on anybody yet, so he's just like hang fire.
Okay. Malexia.
Be nice.
All right. I'll put my hands up.
Okay. You see a mountain of a man emerge from the cave entrance with a gigantic sword clutched in his hands. Moves slowly towards the two staff wielders. Silic. Malexia has raised his hands.
I'll kind of join in the diplomatic effort and call out to them. We're willing to talk. We should all put our weapons down.
Okay. The one who spoke previously tones his amplification down a little bit. We will talk, but even with our weapons down, you will be under aim. Do not try to take us for fools.
I'm gonna suggest that either Silit or Aria leads negotiations.
Mhm.
Not least because they might not have noticed Jack.
Jack's in stealth. Jack's invisible.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Just gonna.
At least as
He's
far
like,
as
look at
as far as Jack knows.
Mm-hmm. It's just gonna like stay in the shadows and just like keep an eye out for a sign to give him an opening.
Yeah. What angle do we take? Do we play the circle card and say, hey, we're here, you're not supposed to be? And that could really escalate.
That sounds like a great way of getting them to kill us.
Yeah, I reckon we just say that we've been
Hey,
asked
look,
to.
we were told those people like turning up where they weren't expected. We were just coming to see what was going on. You guys are clearly busy. If you wouldn't mind telling us roughly what you're up to so I can report it back.
Sounds good.
We don't necessarily need to verify what they're saying.
Hmm?
They just need to give us something that we can take back with us.
Yep.
Okay. So the second of the staff wielders steps forward, one with the larger staff. What's your business here?
We're in town at the moment, and we were asked to come up and check because there was activity near one of the mines. And frankly, we weren't actually expecting to find anyone. I'm gonna need something to take back to our superior about what it is that's going on here. All we're gonna do is report. So if you could give us something that we can say that you're up to, then we'll be on our way.
And who did you say you were?
Oh, I didn't.
Yes, I noticed.
Well, I'm sure you
Concerned
can.
citizens.
I'm sure you can recognize our uniforms. We're merely young recruits out on their loot. Although we were given a map by the circle representative in town, so they do know roughly where we are if, say, we were to go missing or not get back.
I would think that that would be the least of your concerns.
I'm fairly concerned that we might not make it back with all these fucking arrows pointed at us.
I mean, it might affect your decision whether you're going to kill us to silence us if you know that people are already aware of where we are and that killing us confirms that something's going on.
Well, killing you is a waste of perfectly good resource, and not something that would be done without you actively provoking it some more. We do tend to find that our best guards are the most gung-ho. But no. Surrender, you'll not be harmed.
May I ask who we would be surrendering to?
You certainly may.
Would it get an answer?
You never know your luck in a raffle.
So who are you?
Your surrender will be given to the inner circle. You'll be transported from this place and dealt with in a manner that is appropriate, as deemed by the inner circle. You have interfered with inner circle business, but you are yet valuable to us as recruits.
I see.
This is not a request. You will surrender and be taken from this place, or you will be removed from this place. I will give you a moment to confer with your companions, even the small one.
Might as well come out, Jack.
Begrudgingly comes out of stealth. God damn it. How do you see me?
We have
Our
ways.
options don't look good.
I mean,
No, I don't
so
think we can make a break for it.
The inner circle? The
In a-
inner
oh.
circle.
yeah.
Mm.
Couple of things. One, we've got yet another strange mystery. Two, at worst, is Kuji with us, actually?
I don't know. I don't think we actually
I
said.
don't really want to drag Kuji into this.
Chuji is safely in the woods out of the way.
Okay, That's fine. Because the second point I was going to give is that at worst, we still have Balioth's opener.
Hmm.
I can take us through to the other side of the veil if needs be.
That
Yeah,
sounds
ooh.
like a fucking terrible idea. Like,
It might be better than being here.
If the door's shut, there's the window.
I suppose so, if we're desperate.
Also, if the inner circle is indeed part of the circle, I mean, we're already kind of wrapped up in one strange thing. And I certainly don't want to die
I
or
reckon the only choice.
be like recruited by force and they go through all our stuff and yeah.
yeah, I don't much
You
like the
risk
idea of being
losing-
taken in chains.
No.
Yeah, we risk losing opener too.
Yeah.
Let's cooperate for now.
Yeah. I think at my first opportunity though, I'm going to try and conceal opener. Like have it strapped to my leg or something.
Okay.
This isn't great, but
Our other option is to try and find a distraction while you do it now, but that feels like it would be not great.
I don't think it would really. I don't think it's going to
Nah.
work. They're very aware that we just killed one of their guards,
Mm,
and
2 other guards.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it might be that they want some of us to replace those guards.
Sounded like.
Yeah. Sounded like that for a second.
Yeah.
Mm,
Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna do about Kuji though.
Well, hopefully they can fend for themselves. They're going to have to at this rate.
I hope they can get
She'll
back
be
to
okay.
town.
She'll be okay.
Yeah.
She's managed pretty well so far in a strange new land.
Very true.
Has. And if she can make her way back to town, she can always stay in her rooms in the inn. That should be
Yeah.
fine. Okay. Shall I just go back and tell them that we'll cooperate?
I suppose so.
I may as well all go.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to know how they saw me. I was
Yeah.
really quiet. I
That
was really, really quiet.
that suggests a lot of
Good
experience and a
observation
lot of skill. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go over to them. And be like and just kind of like bow my head to them and go, we shall cooperate.
You have chosen wisely. Please, stand here. Gestures immediately in front of themselves.
Don't like this.
I walk up and oh dear.
They gesture to the rest of you. Please, form a line.
Oh, it's like being back in school again. Are we in trouble?
Well, maybe if we hadn't randomly shot people.
You're not wrong.
Although I think that it would have happened once they knew we were here anyway.
One way or another.
Aye. So, Okay.
Okay. Have you all lined up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Very well. You will not be harmed. But for now, you will sleep. And you are unconscious.
This person's too powerful.
Dangerous.
Oh, like it.
And that is where we will end for the evening.
Mm.
No
Where
bed.
do we make
though.
up?
Oh.
Mm.
Ooh.
So, any final thoughts from the cast?
I think we dodged a lot of bullets today.
Oh
We
shit.
dodged death.
Literally, and yeah.
Just yeah, summed up as oh, this is gonna be potentially really bad. Potentially. We might end up with something useful about Opener and the other gods, and or we might be able to use that information as bargaining.
Mhm.
I imagine we're all having some very strange dreams at this moment.
Mhm.
Perhaps, and perhaps not. You may or may not remember them when you wake up.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay, so that brings us to a close for the evening. That's an excellent little cliffhanger. And it's no more than a gang of murder hobos really deserve.
Listen, I tried the. like, I tried to do this the right way, like
I
the
didn't
polite
try-
way. And then before I could even react, someone had been shot in the fucking neck. Like,
They were reaching for the whistle. They were reaching for the whistle.
Deadly weapon.
for all we know, he could have
Weapons.
just been like whistling to get the person in charge out, which, as we now know, still would have ended badly. But you know, that might have just been like a toot toot. Someone's here to talk to you. Fine.
I have to confess, I didn't know whether this was going to be one episode to reach this point, or 3 or 4 as you slaughtered your way through a bunch of creatures.
Easily have been.
No, we heard things and went nope.
Yeah.
Well, we survived all of the creatures.
Aye, even the
Just
shambling
you.
mound.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You didn't even
Pretty
have
rough.
to run away from it very fast.
Slowly backed away.
See, that's the thing.
Not
the
dealing with
shambling
that.
thing is, a shambling mound can only move like 10 feet. And you can move 30 feet. Literally just walk away from it.
It's 20, but yes. It's slower than everybody else. Okay. I think that brings us to a conclusion. Dragon, would you like to talk us out, or shall I cover it?
If you can cover it, I shall begin hunting for someone to raid to.
Certainly. Thank you once again for joining us this evening as our cast explored Varlastan, its inhabitants and its secrets. We'd like to thank our sponsors, dndice.co.uk and Gemhammer Sons and Gaming, for supporting the podcast and our other content like this. Our setting is built using World Anvil, and we're releasing some of the setting content anytime as soon as I have time. Check out the Varlastan Circle page on penancerpg.com for more information. You can find the Penance RPG podcast on your favourite podcast app. We're on social media at Penance RPG. Dragon and Amy are cast members. I assist behind the scenes. You can also catch Eden and Amy, I think, in Dark Tide.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Which is a streamed game that we run on a Sunday. Eden also appears in Pretending with Dice, along with Dragon quite frequently, which is another actual play variety podcast. We will return in 4 weeks, all being well. But before then, for those of you who are lucky enough to live close enough, you can see some of us at Dragon Meet in London. The first weekend in December, it's in Hammersmith, and it's on the Saturday only. But you will find us and and at least AJ from Pretending with Dice, and in the podcast zone. Keep an eye out for us. Come and say hello.
We will be running some games, hopefully, in the podcast zone probably in the afternoon of Dragon Meet. So if you swing by on the days, you can see what our times are, what slots are still available, if you want to play a game with us. It may or may not be recorded. I'm not entirely sure yet.
Perfect.
We also have a brand new streamed series, which is running on Wednesdays, called Rat Run, and it is a cyberpunk mouse guard adventure. Because having only one genre was just too easy.
Indeed.
So I am going to have also Saturday. So next Saturday, which is the 20th?
19th?
The 19th. So the
19th
19th to the 20th, we have a 24-hour charity stream, which is being organised by Belray for Macmillan Cancer Support. Again, that will be all over social media before we go live. And various other cast members will be popping up to play some of the games during those 24 hours.
Yep, I think I'll be pretty heavily involved with that one. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep. And actually, I'm going to take us out and raid out to Desert Bus, who do it's like a 7-day charity. It's like a 7-day, 24-hour charity stream of various things. But that's running just now, so we're going to raid out to them, and I hopefully will see lots of you over the next couple of weeks.
And with that, I think we will bid you good night.